Hello everyone and welcome to Waltham Abbey. This is one of the most haunted sites in England with a history that goes all the way back to the 7th century. The Abbey has pretty much everything. It has tons of royal connections, historical significance and, of course, ghost stories that won't go away. Over the years, it is said that locals and visitors alike have reported shadowy monks, eerie chanting, and even the ghost of King Harold II himself. But are these just old legends, or is there truly something supernatural happening around here? Let's uncover the mystery, shall we? Waltham Abbey is an ancient site in Essex, England, with a history stretching back nearly 1,000 years. Originally founded in the 7th century, it became famous when Harold Godwinson, later known as King Harold II, built the church here in 1060. According to the legend, Harold was suffering from a severe paralysis or some sort of illness that impeded his movements. After praying at the abbey, which was then known as Waltham Holy Cross, he reportedly miraculously healed. He funded the expansion of the abbey and he rebuilt it in stone around 1060. You can actually see where the walls used to be. Look at this. There are some weird noises around here. The legend played a significant role in linking King Harold II, the last Anglo-Saxon king of England, to Waltham Abbey. Harold ruled from January to October 1066. He was crowned king after Edward the Confessor died without an heir. Harold fought off a Viking invasion at the Battle of Stamford Bridge on the 25th of September 1066. He marched south to meet William the Conqueror, reaching the Hastings area by October 13, 1066, and by the time they faced the Normans at the Battle of Hastings on the 14th of October, Harold's men were tired, injured and outnumbered, reinforcing that his body was brought here after his death at the Battle of Hastings, after being killed by an arrow to the head. At least according to 12th century Anglo-Norman historians William Moresbury and Henry of Huntingdon, although no one has ever found his grave. He was allegedly buried by the high altar and relocated multiple times as the building grew in importance and expanded. And of course there are multiple locations that claim to have King Harold's body. Here we do have a monument which is said to be his grave, but nobody knows if he's really under there. He says, "This stone marks the position of the high altar behind which King Harold is said to have been buried." I mean, some people said that it might just be his head that is buried here, or the body is buried elsewhere, or I don't know. Imagine how big this would have been in his time. In 1177, King Henry II established here an Augustinian priory, maybe as an act of penance for killing Thomas Becket in Canterbury. There's a lot of maybes. The abbey was a major site of pilgrimage for centuries. Its fate changed in 1540 when it became the last monastic establishment to be destroyed by the dissolution of the monasteries of Henry VIII. Even if apparently Henry VIII loved the abbey. Well, that's consistency for you. We'll get back to this a little bit later. After its closure, parts of the abbey were dismantled, leaving haunting ruins behind. but that's until 1860 when the abbey was restored. Among all this, there was a history of intrigue, religious devotion, and violent upheaval. So it's really no wonder that Waltham Abbey has a reputation for supernatural activity. But why do these ghosts seem to haunt this place? Of course, skeptics argue that ghost stories are merely folklore and the results of overactive imagination, fueled by the eerie atmosphere of the church and the ruins. But others believe that the hauntings at Waltham Abbey are more than just stories. They are echoes of real tragic events that have left a supernatural mark on the land. So, how do we separate fact from fiction? And what is the most compelling ghost encounter that has happened here at Waltham Abbey? Waltham Abbey has seen centuries of turmoil, and with it legends linked to the tales of ghosts that refuse to leave. Local legends tell of several monks being murdered here during the dissolution of the monasteries in 1540. And the abbey grounds are apparently haunted by a hooded monk gliding through the abbey ruins, particularly near the ancient stone archway. But again, as I said, it's a legend, not necessarily the truth. I always say it, they were a lot shorter back then. The apparition has been spotted multiple times and is known to vanish when it is approached. Also, apparently, local residents claim to hear otherworldly chanting late at night, as if monks are still holding services centuries after their death. These sounds have been reported in various places here on the abbey grounds. Another legend here linked to the spirit of a fair maiden that lost her life here in the River Lee when she was rejected by a suitor, and she is said to still haunt this area. Witnesses describe a sorrowful figure appearing near the ruins before fading into thin air. Some say they experience a sense of sadness when they pass the river at night. And last but not least, the last abbot at Waltham Abbey, Robert Fuller, who surrendered the abbey to Henry VIII on the 23rd of March 1540. Some say that his spirit lingers, still grieving the destruction of his sacred home. A figure in monastic robes has been spotted in a remaining church, always disappearing before reaching the altar. One of the spirits that does not seem to haunt these grounds is King Harold's. Isn't that odd? Whether there is any truth in these stories or not, we'll never know. Unless, of course, I bump into a ghost myself. And the truth, much like the ghostly figures who haunt this place, it's as elusive as ever. Ooh, that's gorgeous. That is so beautiful. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumb up, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.